Event planning versus event management. Let's talk about it. So take a look at this image that I have right here. It's obviously titled Event Planning versus Event Management, and this is the event, an entire process for an event. It's a very, very simplified version of it. So on the far left side of the screen, we're going to put pre-event. That is before your event even takes place. And then in the middle of the screen, we're going to put event. This is your event, is like the dashed line section. That is when your audience is actually there, they're actually logged into your virtual event, or they're actually on site with you at the field if you're doing a field day, or into your venue if you are like a conference venue or a ballroom if you're doing a gala. And then on the far right side of the screen, that is the post-event section. So we've got pre-event, event, and post-event. So now that we have an oversimplified version of the actual event process, let's add and overlay on top of that what is going to be event planning versus event management. So now on the far left side of the screen, pre-event, that is going to be when you're in the planning phase. And then in the middle of the section, when your event is actually taking place, your audience is actually there with you, either logged in virtually or they're on site with you. That is when it's in the event management phase. And then a bonus one, which you weren't expecting, is in the post-event phase. I call this the measuring phase. That's when you're measuring the impact that your plan and your management, your actual event, has had on the audience. What is the impact that it had if you wanted them to either eat more types of food or eat less types of food? If you hosted this event solely to teach them about their personal finances, are they budgeting more or are they budgeting less? So you're in the measuring phase afterwards, where you're reflecting and you're reviewing, if you're familiar with the Event Builder framework. And if not, you can go back and watch the previous video. So we've got pre-event is the planning phase, pre-event is the planning phase. We've got the event phase, that's where your event is actually taking place. You're in the management phase. And then post-event, you are measuring. So let's talk specifically about the differences between planning and management. On the planning side, you'll see I put them on two different sides here for us. On the planning side, we are doing things like creating the plan, versus on the management phase, we are following the plan. On the planning phase, we are finding vendors, whereas in the management phase, we are managing our vendors. So finding the vendors could look as many different things as you're researching people. Maybe you're testing out certain foods. Maybe you are trying out the mocktails, finding out which vendor you're negotiating contracts. And then when you're managing them, you're actually saying, okay, I've already given you the time to be there. I just need you to be there on time. Are they here on time? Where do they go when they get here? Things like that. And then in the planning phase, one of the final differences that I have is you're finding a venue versus you are using the venue in the management phase. So again, this is an oversimplified version to show you the differences of event planning versus event management. If this was helpful for you, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go to eventbuilderpro.com, where you can see more things like the Event Builder framework. See you later.